Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the DartZone Vulcanator. This was recently sent to me by DartZone, and it looks really, really cool. Apparently it is, I am assuming, full auto, takes 2 magazines, very similar to those of you who are familiar with the true classics of this hobby. Wallcom's Paradigm Shift, though this one apparently has 2, it looks like it's got 2 sets of flywheels and fires out of both, whereas Wallcom's, it was all the same pusher mechanism, it just had 3 different magazines that you could put in one at a time. But anyway, having the V-split reminds me of the Paradigm Shift. But let's get this open and take a look at it up close. Got a box of darts and a blast. Let's get this thing out of here. Interesting. Absolutely fascinating. We've got a stock, a non-adjustable stock, but it looks like a good length. Still standard end strike attachment point, is it? Is it? Of course it is. Of course it is. Don't ask about the stock. You will get no answers. But that is cool that they are doing that. And yeah, that is for me at least a very comfortable length. I like that. Looks like we have to install our own magwells. Which one goes on which side? Well, looks like there's only one way to do it, so interesting. Those can actually be popped back off alarmingly easily. That doesn't seem like a good feature. Am I not locking them in far enough? What's going on? Anyway, maybe I'm missing something in the instructions. No, it's designed to come off again. Okay. Okay. We have a sight. That is a horrible optic, but maybe not as bad as I thought. Picatinny rail, at least. Wait, no, that's not Picatinny rail. That looks like old Nerf rail. And finally, we have a pair of magazines. It's 12 rounders. Okay. There it is. No. I am curious to see how exactly it functions. If it fires one mag and then fires the other mag, if it fires one from each, if it fires both at the same time, I really haven't the foggiest idea. So we're gonna go to the range and find out. Let's go plink. Ha! Fips, delicious fips. Here we go. 69, 93, 91, 99, 99. Well, that first one, well, nice. I didn't give it time to spin up. It's got a little bit of a slow rev. It's only got, 9 volts to work with. But once we got it up there, it's hitting right around 100. That'll do. Let's see what it does on the range. Train! Right, I'm here on the range. I have the Vulcanator. It's got a V in the name, it makes sense. And I'm gonna plink with it. I've got the 12 round mags that it came with loaded into it with the ammo it came with, and see if I can hit anything at all before that train comes rumbling by and drowns me out. Interesting. And now for the rumbling of the train. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, Vulcanator. 12 round magazines are all well and good, but what if we had 22? No, I'm not gonna do drums, I don't wanna be out here all day. But I have 2 22 round drums in here. It's really quite ridiculous and magnificent. I've got one side loaded up with the darts it came with, the watermelon darts or chili darts or whatever people are calling them. And on the other side, I have regular waffle heads. Because I want to see the fire pattern. I believe it fires one and then switches to the other. But we're gonna find out. So here we go. Oh, or not. So I had some fade issues with the right-hand mag with the green darts, but fired this side just fine. But it does indeed fire one whole side and then fires the other whole side, which is fascinating. I was more expecting it to fire one than the other. Now my question is, what happens if we only put one mag in it? Riddle me this malarkey. Here is one of the 10 round, you see it says 10 round magazines that came with the Spectrum I recently got. And here is it next to the 12 round that came with the Vulcanator. It is loaded with 12 rounds. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you lying? What's going on? Explain yourself. Right. We know that it fires the right side first, so I've only put a magazine on the left side. See what happens. It fired. No one should be surprised by this. Let's put it on the right side only. We should be surprised by that even less. Fascinating. Right. Let's go talk about it. Right. Let's talk about this thing. I'm not even sure where to start. It's neat. Now, it felt underpowered on the range when I chronoed it. Here is coming in at 100 FPS, but I was single firing. As soon as I started firing full auto, doing a mag dump, it dropped off real quick. The motors just don't quite have enough torque on AA batteries to be able to really drain like that. Now, if you were squeezing off rounds a little bit more slowly, giving it time to rev up between shots, it should have decent performance. But what I really like is the design. Like I said, it reminds me of the Paradigm Shift Wallcom's brilliant build, but that one actually had a third magazine that was on the bottom, and only one of them was actually seated at a time, and they just all fed into the same pusher mechanism, and it was really cool. This one is more innovative in that it's firing one side and then firing the other side, and that's fascinating because it means that you could hypothetically change out magazines while firing the other magazine. So it particularly works if you're left-handed because it drains this one first, and since I'm left-handed, my right hand is free to change mags while it's draining that one and then slap in another one. Now I'd have to reach across to get to the other side, of course, and a right-handed person would have to reach across to get to this one. And then once, but it's a neat concept, and it's something, like I said, I haven't seen anything quite like this outside of Wallcom's build. Now the Rhino Fire that Hasbro had, it had two that came out the side, but it fired, I believe, one and then the other, and then one and then the other, and then one and then the other, and so I don't think it fired nearly as well if they weren't both loaded. This one has the same rate of fire. No matter, you could fire it with one magazine and it's exactly the same rate of fire as if it has both. And there's obviously just some kind of a sensor that can tell that this magazine is empty and then it should start pushing this one, which is fascinating. I kind of want to look and see how that works, because it might be possible, and I'm sure someone has probably already done this and I just haven't seen the video, to make it fire both at the same time. Now, you'd almost certainly need upgraded motors, because I assume it's one big set of flywheels that are two sets of flywheels that are running off the same motors. And so you definitely need something with a lot more torque to be able to fire them both at once. But I'm sure I've seen that someone has already done that, and that's really cool. So again, innovation. While the execution is a little weak for our world, definitely fine for stock type stuff. It's a really cool blaster for that. So I'm looking forward to doing some fun stuff with this. Standard stock attachment point, that's cool. It's always nice that when they do that. Looks like standard Nerf rail, I could be wrong. The Pro and Max line have the Picatinny rail, the regular DartZone stuff doesn't. And I like that. Very comfortable grip, very nice form factor. I really like that. The one really complaint I have is how easy these pop off. because you can fairly easily knock it off when you go to grab the magazine. I had that problem of, I went to pull the magazine off and pulled the whole mag well out, which is less than ideal. I find it really weird that those aren't stuck in there better. Now, it wouldn't be hard to either glue it on or screw it in or make it not pop off, but I found it very weird that those were so easy to come loose, because I don't see any purpose in having them be easily removable. You know, things like the Matrix Fire's hopper, having that pop off easily, I can understand, but these, that seems weird. Maybe there's a reason for it, and I just don't know. If there is, by all means, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this as far as, again, an innovative concept from DartZone. Something pretty new, and I like seeing it. Even if the execution isn't perfect, the fact that they're doing new and interesting stuff, I really, really like. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you, DartZone, for sending me this to tinker with. I will probably do horrible things with it, and thank you guys for watching. Right, we're here on the range. I've got the Vulcanator. Got a V in the name, it makes sense. And I'm playing with it. I've got the 12-round mags that it came with, loaded with the darts that it came with, and I didn't put the bottles back up.